Like you set these big goals at the beginning of the year,
Mhm.
write them all out, New Year's resolutions, all that.
Oh, yeah.
And then life just gets in the way, you know? Motivation fades and those ambitions kind of fizzle out. What if there was like a better way, though?
Totally.
That's what we're diving into today, the 12-week year
Okay.
by Brian P. Moran and Michael Lennington.
Interesting.
It's a system that's supposed to supercharge your productivity by like totally changing how we think about planning, you know?
So instead of the traditional year-long plan,
Exactly.
like shorter bursts.
Yeah, yeah. And what I found really fascinating was how the book like digs into the psychology
Oh, interesting.
of why we fail at those big goals, you know,
Yeah.
those big year-long goals.
It's not just about willpower, is it?
No, it's like how our brains are actually wired.
So tell me more about this brain wiring thing.
Well, think about it. We're all wired for instant gratification. Like the further away a goal seems, the easier it is to just be like, I'll do it later.
Procrastination.
Mhm.
I'm very familiar.
Haha, yeah. And that's what Moran and Lennington are getting at.
Oh,
They say by like shrinking that time frame to just 12 weeks,
okay.
we create the sense of urgency, like when you have a deadline
Oh, I see.
and it's like you got to hit it.
Got it. Got it.
Like think about those end of year sales targets.
Yeah.
Suddenly everyone's like laser focused,
Oh,
right?
Oh, totally. That last minute rush.
That's exactly what the 12-week year is trying to replicate
Huh. Like,
by breaking it down into these smaller chunks.
kind of like how athletes train.
Yes.
Like with periodization.
Exactly. Like imagine training for a marathon.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just run 26 miles on day one, would you?
No way.
Haha, right. You'd be on the couch for like a week.
For sure.
So you'd break it down into these phases, focusing on specific training goals,
Mm-hmm.
but for like shorter periods.
Makes sense.
And that's what the 12-week year is all about. Applying that same concept to like our own goals.
So it's not just about going fast.
Right. It's about aligning those sprints with a vision.
A vision.
Yeah, like a compelling vision for the future.
Oh, interesting.
It's that emotional connection that fuels your effort, you know?
Oh, that makes sense.
Like, think about Michael Phelps.
The swimmer.
Yeah, he didn't just magically win all those gold medals.
Right. Years of training, day in and day out.
Exactly. And that's a key takeaway here. It's those daily choices driven by that vision
That leads to those big results.
that lead to those big results. So I want you to think about it while we're doing this deep dive. Think about what choices you can make today
Right now.
to move towards your vision.
Okay, so how do we actually put the 12-week year into practice? Like, what are the actual steps?
Well, the book lays out these 5 core disciplines, okay?
5.
Vision, planning, process control, measurement, and time use.
Okay, I'm taking notes here.
And the best part is, there are all these practical strategies and tools that you can start using immediately.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
So where do we even begin?
I mean, where does any great plan begin? With a vision,
Vision.
but not just any vision.
Not some vague idea.
It has to be vivid, like a picture of your ideal future.
So we're talking goals,
Mm-hmm.
but like really fleshed out goals.
Exactly. Moran and Lennington want you to paint a detailed picture.
Okay.
Think about your personal goals, professional aspirations, even financial or spiritual well-being.
So it's like this holistic view.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the book gives a great example.
Oh, tell me.
A guy named Sal Durso.
Okay.
He used his personal vision to rebuild his entire company
Wow.
after a huge setback.
So even when things go wrong, that vision can keep you on track.
Exactly. It's like a guiding light through the chaos.
Okay, I'm liking this vision thing. What comes next?
Planning, but not the kind that gets dusty on a shelf.
Okay.
This is about a 12-week plan
Mhm.
with measurable goals and weekly tactics.
Ah, so breaking down the big vision into bite-sized pieces.
Exactly. You're making it achievable.
So instead of getting lost in the whole year, we're focusing on what we can do in the next 12 weeks.
Exactly. And the book has all these templates and tips.
Oh, that's helpful.
Like you can create a vision board
Ooh, I love vision boards.
or use a weekly scorecard to track your progress.
So it's about finding a system that works for you.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you on the vision and the plan, but what about when things go wrong? Like life happens, right?
You're right. And that's where process control comes in.
Process control. Okay.
It's about recognizing that willpower isn't always enough.
I can definitely relate to that.
You need systems and structures to help you, like scaffolding.
Scaffolding for your goals.
Exactly.
So instead of relying on motivation, which can be unreliable, we're creating an environment for success.
You got it.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. One simple way is time blocking.
Oh, I've heard of that.
You schedule specific blocks for focused work, buffer blocks for unexpected tasks, and even escape blocks for recharging.
So we're being really strategic with our time.
Exactly. And making sure the important stuff gets done.
This is feeling a lot more concrete than I thought it would be.
That's the beauty of the 12-week year. It takes those big dreams and makes them actionable.
All right, I'm really liking this so far, but I think we should pause here for part 1 of our deep dive.
Makes sense.
We've covered a lot, those long-term goals.
The brain stuff.
Yeah, the brain stuff and those 5 disciplines.
That's the 5 disciplines.
But in part 2, we'll tackle those moments of doubt and fear.
Oh, yeah. Those are important.
The roadblocks we all hit, you know.
We all hit them.
And we'll dive into some inspiring stories.
Love those.
And give you even more strategies to actually use this.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Stay tuned. We're just getting started.
I'm ready.
Okay, so welcome back. You know, we're diving deep into the 12-week year.
Yes.
We've talked about setting the vision, planning those 12-week sprints.
Yeah, those sprints.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Change is hard.
It is.
What about when we hit a wall?
Oh, yeah.
Or those old habits? You know, they just like creep back in.
Right. The book actually talks about this.
Oh, good.
Overcoming those barriers.
Okay.
Like time management struggles.
Ah, yes.
Breaking old habits.
Oh, like a struggle.
And like fear of failure.
Oh, the fear of failure. That's a big one.
Yeah. So any advice from the book on that one?
I'm all ears.
Well, they talk about shifting the focus from results
Okay.
to execution.
I see.
You can't always control the outcome,
Right.
but you can control your actions.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So instead of getting paralyzed by fear,
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on the process.
Okay, so if we break it down
Yeah,
into smaller daily actions,
right.
it feels less overwhelming.
Exactly.
Right.
And you actually build confidence
Oh, that's good.
by just focusing on the process.
Okay, so what about those habits?
Oh, the habit.
The ones that sabotage us.
Well, Moran and Leddington have a really interesting point.
Okay.
They say our current actions
Mm-hmm.
are creating our current results.
Okay, yeah.
So if we want different results,
we need to change our actions.
we need new actions.
It's so simple,
It is.
but so hard.
Sometimes, yeah.
So how do we do it?
Well, they suggest using your written plan
Okay.
to choose new actions,
Mm-hmm.
even when those old triggers pop up.
Oh, so it's about like intentionally
Yes.
disrupting those patterns
Exactly.
with new behaviors.
New behaviors.
Could we use time blocking for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Those strategic blocks
Yeah,
can really help you establish those new habits.
because you're making time for it.
Exactly. You're prioritizing.
I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
It's all connected.
But what about those old time management demons?
Ah, yes.
They always seem to find me.
Well, it comes back to intentionality.
Okay.
The 12-week year is about being deliberate with your time.
So it's not about doing more
No, it's about making conscious choices.
choices that matter.
Choices that align with your vision.
Remember that model week exercise?
Oh, yeah.
It really made me think about how I want to spend my time
I remember you saying that.
and like identify those high value activities.
Yeah.
The ones that actually move me towards my goals.
And then you structure your week
Yeah.
to reflect that model
It's like a gradual shift
And they would-
away from distractions.
and towards those high-value actions.
Okay, this is making me think about all those little things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ones that steal my time?
Yes, those pesky little things.
How do we manage those?
That's where those buffer blocks come in. You
Ah.
batch those less important tasks together.
So like checking email,
Yep.
returning calls. So
Yeah.
we're not ignoring them.
No, you're just being strategic.
You're just being more intentional
Intentional, exactly.
about when we handle them.
That's the key.
Okay, so this is all great.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot more equipped to handle these obstacles.
Good, good.
But are there any stories from the book
Oh, there are tons of great stories.
that highlight how powerful this can be?
Yeah, one that comes to mind is Noah.
Noah.
He made a commitment to call his mother every weekday
Okay, interesting.
for 12 weeks.
Every weekday, that's a lot.
It was a small commitment,
Okay,
but it had a huge impact.
I see.
He strengthened his relationship with his mother,
Yeah.
but he also experienced personal growth.
So it's a reminder that the 12-week year
Mhm.
is about more than just checking things off a list.
It's about the bigger picture.
Yeah, creating a life that feels meaningful.
Meaningful, that's the word.
Aligning your actions with your values.
Yes.
This is giving me so much to think about.
Good, I'm glad.
I'm ready to put this into action.
I knew you would be.
What's the next step?
Well, we've explored those barriers
Mm-hmm.
and how the 12-week year helps us overcome them.
Yeah, we've seen how small actions can lead to big results.
Exactly.
But in part 3, we'll get down to brass tacks. Those practical steps to actually implement the 12-week year.
Yeah.
Mindset, commitment,
Good stuff.
and some actionable takeaways
Actionable. Love it.
to kickstart your journey.
I'm excited.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll empower you to make this a reality.
Or can't wait.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of this deep dive into a 12-week year.
I'm excited for this part.
Me too. We've explored the why,
Ugh.
the how, all those emotional hurdles we might face. But I'm ready for action now.
Okay.
How do we actually take all this amazing information and make it work for us in our own lives?
I think you've actually already done some of the hardest work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Clarifying your vision, mapping out that 12-week plan. That's huge. Now it's about shifting from planning to doing.
Okay, the doing part.
The book's got some great advice for that, for those first steps.
All right, tell me everything.
Start small.
Okay.
Build momentum. That's the key.
Yeah.
You don't want to overhaul everything at once.
Yeah, that's overwhelming.
Yeah. So pick maybe 1 or 2 key areas.
1 or 2, okay, but how do I choose? Everything feels important.
Think back to your vision,
Okay.
those 12-week goals.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, what's going to have the biggest impact?
Oh, okay, so what moves the needle?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What are those high-value activities, the ones that really matter, the ones that align with your vision?
But what about when those moments of doubt creep in,
Yeah.
How do we stay committed when it feels hard?
That's the power of commitment.
Okay.
Making a choice, almost like a contract with yourself,
Oh, interesting.
to stick to the plan no matter what.
So it's not just willpower then.
No, willpower's fickle. It comes and goes.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely experienced that. Some days I'm like, I can do anything, and other days I'm just like, nope.
Exactly.
So it's about making a decision and sticking to it even when I don't feel like it.
Even when it's tough.
Yeah.
And the 12-week year helps with that because that shorter time frame creates that urgency.
Yeah. It's like we're always in that year-end sprint mode.
Exactly. Makes it easier to stay focused.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Is there anything else we can do to kind of help stay on track?
Don't underestimate accountability. Share your goals with someone you trust, a friend, a mentor, anyone.
Oh, like an accountability partner.
Exactly. Or even join a group.
Yeah. Having that support system can be so helpful.
Especially when you're feeling discouraged,
It's like having a cheerleader in your corner.
Exactly. Someone to remind you why you started.
Okay, so starting small, staying committed, building that support system. Any final, nuggets of wisdom from the 12-week year?
Well, one of the most powerful takeaways for me was this idea that every day is an opportunity
Oh, okay.
to either move closer to your vision or further away.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
It is. It's a call to live intentionally, making those choices that align with your goals.
So it's bigger than just those 12 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle,
Yeah.
a way of living with intention and purpose.
That's really powerful.
The 12-week year is like this framework,
Yeah.
this system that helps you create momentum, but you got to take action.
You got to do the work.
You got to do the work
Right.
to make it a reality.
Wow, this has been such an incredible deep dive.
Yes.
We explored the 12-week year, those strategies, the mindset, commitment, everything.
Everything. Now it's your turn.
Yes. What one action will you commit to this week
This week,
to move closer to your vision?
we'd love to hear about your 12-week journey.
Yes. Connect with us on social media. Share your experiences, your challenges, your triumphs, all of it.
Remember, you have the power to create the life you want.
12 weeks at a time.
12 weeks at a time. Start small, stay committed, embrace those possibilities.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for your best self.